everybody, how's it going? It's the Fuzz! So I want to talk about what I think is the best thing in Spellweaver. The draft mode! As you probably might have figured from the title and from this screen here. In my opinion, the draft in Spellweaver is the best Spellweaver experience there is. I personally I've played in every single one of those best of 3 Sundays, and it is awesome. It is the best Spellweaver I've played. And why is it so good? It's because, on one hand, it's a little different from Ladder. It's a new experience, but a lot of the most oppressive and disgusting cards are indeed epic and rare. And so you see a lot less of them. Like, if you're annoyed about 4 times Cataclysm, well, you're not going to run into anybody who has 4 Cataclysms, because you're probably not even going to run into 1 Cataclysm, because if there actually is a Cataclysm, people are going to just take it, right? Or you might even take it just so that other people don't take it. So it's good. The whole not having 4-offs consistently is really good, because people can't reliably build their strategies. They just pick, good cards to go with a decent hero and just make the best of what they have. And it never really feels unfair. Yeah, occasionally you might get steamrolled by someone who went really aggressively. But a really good aspect of the draft, and this is something that Ivko himself pointed out during our podcast with him, is that it is essentially self-balancing. Imagine if red aggressive cards were really, really good, right? Then everybody's gonna pick them, and then there's gonna be less of them to go around. And so you won't be as oppressed. Whereas in Constructed, everybody can have 4 of whatever they want. And I never felt that it was right to be able to have 4 of things like Cataclysm or things like Karthus. And a lot of these other games, like the big legendaries, are limited in some way, either to 1 copy or in some other way. But here, it's not the case, and so these cards are just the same as any other cards. But yeah, I want to do this video to spread awareness of the draft. I think we need more draft. We need more emphasis on draft. I've discussed it several times on my stream, and people seem to be very open to the idea of a draft championship, kind of the same way Masters is done. Now, I'm not sure how the structure would work, because obviously you're making up decks on the fly, so I think that would have to be a little bit different. Like, if there was a big tournament, you would have to have I don't know, draft from more cards or something like that. I don't know. It's not as simple as just putting up tournaments. But I feel like draft needs to be just as big as Ladder, because it is one big thing that sets Spellweaver apart. I don't know of any other card game currently that has draft where you get to keep these cards. I mean, I suppose Eternal does something a little similar, but it's not in a tournament format. That's what's awesome about it. It's like you're sitting down to play Trials with a few other people who also just drafted their decks, and to see who is the best. Really, the only issue with these is it's only 3 rounds, and it's so many times I was in a situation where there's 4 of us with 3 points, and I just want to play these guys. Can my deck beat their decks? Is their deck more OP than mine? So, even though it sounds like I'm complaining, it's not actually that bad. These drafts do seem to get a little bit of popularity. Like the best of 3 Sunday does fill up, but I wish we had more of those best of 3s, because they're so awesome. Yes, I know they take some time, but you could just toss out a few of them in the middle of the week, and if they don't fill up, okay, just move them around. It's flexible. But these are the ones I want to play the most. Single game drafts, those are fine, but being able to see your opponent's deck and have a sideboard where you draft, since you always draft more cards than you need, being able to draft stuff like Detonate, even if you're a red player, just in case they have artifacts or Test of Time, and being able to kind of switch out cards as you need depending on what your opponent has. Although, you should not be able to switch out heroes, which is something you currently can do, which I don't think is right. But, whatever. You get the idea. These best of threes really, I feel like you get to show off what you can do. And yes, I'm kind of saying it because I like the fact that I've been doing well in them, whereas on ladder, I just do kind of whatever. I mean, I don't even play ladder that much, but it's a mode where I feel like I can make a difference. Whereas you have some cards, you have to make the best with the cards you have. You can't just follow a curve, right? I mean, you can try to draft a curve, but you can't build some specific plan and just follow it, right? There is no garbage one-turn heal crap in draft, because you could not possibly draft a deck like that. There is no Horizon into Cataclysm into Scatterer's Bidding. None of that garbage. It's just aggro slash mid-range with whatever cards you can put together with, you know, a decent hero, and away you go. And these games, in my experience, have been phenomenal. By far, the best Spellweaver I have played. By far. And I think it's way better than ladder. I would say it's even better than Trials, because the difference is in Trials, everybody could just draft Dominion. I mean, now that Coronas has been nerfed, it's not as big of a deal, but Dominion is still really good, and so you would just draft Dominion every time. Whereas in draft, there's only so many Dominion cards to go around, and if everybody's fighting over Dominion cards, one clever player is gonna go like Nature or something and just snag up all the good Nature cards. Although, in my experience, players seem to be pretty savvy in respect to this, and it's not like you face Dominion all the time. In fact, there is quite a decent variety of decks, and as I've experienced, even something like Mana Corruption can kick your ass, as I've experienced at the hands of Arthur Dane, a fellow very experienced draft player, as he kicked the crap out of me with the most insane, like one of the most insane draft decks I've seen. Mana Corruption with basics Nepharos. Crazy, right? So that I feel is the essence of Spellweaver, because these draft games really do take advantage of what Spellweaver is all about. I think battle for board control, manipulating the speeds and the lanes and these instant cards, and just, you know, doing whatever you can. And whenever you do get a big card like Karthus or Dust Titan, these cards are rare, so they have a big impact on the game, and it just feels awesome. So I just wanted to throw that out there, a message to fellow players and developers. Put more emphasis on these. Let's have a draft championship. I would love to play in it. Of course, I would love to cast it as well, one way or the other. But I guarantee you, we'd have some awesome battles going on. And we're on the eve of an expansion as well. Now, I don't know how many of these ridiculous cards are going to be epic. Like the Sentinel is epic, so it's not going to really affect draft that much, because you're very rarely going to see it. But if you get it, holy shit, is that going to be good. You get the idea. As we get more and more cards, these modes are going to get more interesting, as there's more variety in cards and that sort of thing. And we have enough heroes where there's like a decent variety. Sure, some are better than others, but that's true in Constructed as well. And it's impossible to have 18 heroes be equally balanced in something like draft. There's just no way. But the fact that we have, like, I would say 6 good ones, that's amazing. That's a third of the heroes just being good. The only sad thing is that not every aspect has a hero that I would consider to be in the top tier of heroes, sadly. But that doesn't mean you can't draft an insane deck with any hero. And you can. You could draft 6 Angels and play Advanced Alexa and absolutely crush everybody in your way. If you get lucky enough. Miracles can happen. And if you ever face a Mana Corruption 5 times Death Curse Shaman and 3 times Hydra and Dread Knight or something like that, which is what Arthur did to me, you get a new appreciation for the possibilities. So I'm hoping we get more of those. Conveniently, one draft just popped up here on the bottom. But more drafts, please. They are a great way to open packs, and you could even make them maybe slightly more, you know, like profitable for people, to encourage people to play more. And if you can get people interested enough to where they're actually willing to, like, you know, save up their money for tickets and stuff just to play in it, that's great. And then they get to open their cards and then use those for you know, for Constructed. And of course, Constructed, you know, could be better. Because, you know, if you're getting cards for Constructed and you don't like Constructed, it's like, what's the point, right? You know, but it's still, Draft, I think, shows us how good the game can be. And it has completely, like, opened my eyes for what it can be. And it's got me to play, like, again, because for me, I've been disliking ladder for a long time. But with Draft, all the things I don't like, they don't come about. They're not a problem. Divine Offering even is less of a problem. Yes, even Divine Offering gets fixed in Draft. How do you ask? Well, because you only have like a 40 card deck or something like that, but you still look at top 5, you are in essence looking at more, because 5 out of 40 is 1 out of 8, whereas 5 out of 60 is 1 out of 12. So it's as if in Constructed you were looking at top 7, right? That makes your deck more consistent, and if you put in like 13 or 14 Shrine, you almost never miss Divine Offering. Great stuff! It's genius, man! I really think we're onto something with this mode, and I hope it becomes more than just like a different way to play. I feel it should be a major draw towards the game, because it is the best part of it, and it is one of the most unique aspects. We need to play to our strengths, guys. We need to, you know, put forward the best part of the game, and that's what I think it is. Anyways, enough of this rambling. The next future videos, I actually want to start talking more about Draft and actually focus more on like helping you with picks. Which heroes are good? Which aspects are good? Why are they good? What are the cards that you try to pick? So on and so forth, because I've really found a home when it comes to Draft. That's where I want to be. Let like Cruel Tech, Laurentian, and all these crazy people play like Constructed and, you know, figure out these master strategies in master tournaments. I'm just gonna go ahead and play Draft over here, and you know, every now and again I get completely crushed, but that's part of the fun. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys out there. Looking forward to drafting with you. Show me what you can do.